Hey y'all, welcome to MJ B-Side. Today we're talking about the Michael movie soundtrack list that was recently released, what it reveals about the flow of this movie, and if they got it right. Originally there was talks that there was going to be 30 songs total in the movie. However, only 13 songs are featured on the soundtrack. So either the 17 other songs will be minor features during the movie, or they will be reserved for the second movie. Now, personally, I have some mixed reactions about the soundtrack. There's quite a bit of Jackson 5 content in the mix, but Off the Wall looks like it was skimmed over, only highlighting Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Working Day and Night. If you don't know, Off the Wall was the first album by a solo artist to generate 4 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. The amazing Rock With You track and She's Out of My Life is left off the soundtrack. Now, I know this movie is clocking in at just over 2 hours, but I was hoping to see some more music, different music, maybe even some new track mixes for the soundtrack to make it a little exciting. I am also disappointed about the songs credited to the Jacksons, which did not include Jermaine, but added the youngest brother Randy in the late 70s. Now, these are not really Jackson songs, but songs performed by the Jacksons. For example, the medley at number 4 is really from the early Jackson 5 era, and Ben was a Michael Jackson song. I hope to see actual songs featured from the Jacksons' Triumph era, when I think Michael was vocally at his peak. I don't know how they could leave off songs like Heartbreak Hotel, which was the first song Michael wrote and produced himself, and also Can You Feel It? Now I'm thinking part of the explanation may have to do with the inclusion of Randy on those songs. For those of you who don't know, there has been historical tension between Randy Jackson and Jermaine Jackson. Now Jermaine is the father of Jafar, who is portraying Michael. And Jermaine married the mother of Randy's 2 children in the 90s, and Jafar was the offspring of that union. Needless to say, I hope that family messiness is not why we are not getting quality tracks from the Jackson era. What is clearly apparent is that this will be a Thriller era-centric movie, and the movie will end right at the start of the Bad era. I'm predicting they will spend about 30 to 40 minutes developing the story in the J5 era and quickly touch on the Off the Wall era before spending the remainder of the time on Thriller and the Victory Tour. Also wondering why we are limiting the content to 13 songs on the soundtrack. I mean, this is a story about the most influential pop artist of all time with an extensive discography, and we are limiting it to 13 songs. I think the soundtrack would do Michael more justice if it doubled the tracks, half for his solo work and J5 work prior to Off the Wall, and the other half following Off the Wall. I think that would provide a better sense of his career journey. And if I had to come up with the soundtrack for the first half of this movie, I would add the following. I think maybe Tomorrow, Got to Be There, and With the Child's Heart are some songs that you really can see the talent and gift of a young Michael, why his voice was so truly special. I think songs like Dreamer really captured Michael. I think it was one of his songs that he could really relate to. And then I think Dancing Machine, Blame It on a Boogie, Shake Your Body, after the Jacksons left Motown, they really began coming into their own producing, and this was like the off the wall era per se, when they really got to experiment and find their own sound. And so I think that that's important as well. Going to the off the wall Victory eras, I think that we have to add She's Out of My Life and Rock With You, because they were part of the history of the Off the Wall album. And the Off the Wall song wasn't bad at all, so I would add Off the Wall as well. And again, I know this covers the Victory era, so it'd be nice to see a song from the Victory album as well. And I think Torture would be a great way to end that segment of the movie. You know, if we're ending with the Victory Tour and Michael starting to decide he's going to do his own thing. Yeah, I would rather end it with that than end it with one song from the Bad era. I think if there's going to be a second Bad, I think there's going to be a second part to this movie focusing on the Bad era. That's when we should bring in Bad. I don't think we should just start with one bad song here and then have the other bad song for the other bad songs for the soundtrack that would come for a second movie. So those are my thoughts, everybody. Let me know what you think. Do you feel like they got it right? The soundtrack for the movie. Do you feel like they could have added more songs? There's some songs that are on there that you think they didn't need to include and they should have put something else. Let me know in the comments and we'll catch you back here again at MJ B-Side. Peace.